Wish made around $2 billion by selling junk. They advertise some of the most bizarre stuff on the internet and still manage to get customers and make money. Like, what even is this? And who's the one weirdo buying worms? Shipping takes forever, product quality is bad, their customer service is non-existent, and they even became a meme stock thanks to Wall Street bets. So what's the secret behind their success? How do they manage to compete with huge e-commerce giants like Amazon? What is their strategy? And what are the hidden secrets behind why they're able to make the strategy work so successfully? The main strategy behind the success of Wish is its price leadership. Companies like Apple focus on making their products at the highest possible quality. Some companies, such as Trader Joe's, focus on exceptional customer service. And Wish uses the strategy of being a price leader and having lower prices than anyone else in the market. An example of this is Aldi, a discount grocery store chain that became successful by having better prices than any other grocery store. Back in 2018, the two biggest grocery store chains of Australia, Woolworths and Coles, were facing huge backlash because of their use of plastic bags at the checkout. Meanwhile, Aldi was sitting on the sidelines and didn't even have to face the same problems because they were so focused on having cheaper prices than anyone else that they cut costs by never having plastic bags at the checkout in the first place. Similarly, Wish built its business by being a price leader and having prices that are borderline unbelievable, such as a 2TB USB for only $4, when the normal cost for a hard drive of that size is around $100, or an Apple Watch of $4 and shoes for $1. And right now you're probably thinking, there's no way you're going to get a good product at such cheap prices. There's no way these products are real. And you would be absolutely right. If you look at the customer ratings, they're full of 1-star reviews and complaints about the product and lack of customer service. So why do people even buy from Wish if they know the product quality is going to be bad? The price. The prices are so low that even if the product turns out to be junk, they only lose a few dollars. And most people that shop on Wish are okay with getting lower quality products if it means the price is low. And this is the target audience for Wish, which had been ignored by all the other e-commerce giants. In fact, while I was researching for this video, I ended up buying the 2TB USB for $4, and I don't even need extra storage. It's just so cheap that even if it turns out to be slow and bad, it's still 2TB of data for only $4. So how do they actually make money when they're selling what most people would consider junk? It turns out Wish doesn't actually own any of the inventory, and it's just a platform that connects manufacturers with consumers. They're able to have low prices on the products because the products are shipped directly from the manufacturer. And for a long time, the shipping cost was subsidized. There's also no middleman that increases cost, except Wish, which takes 15% of each sale, which makes them seem more like a dropshipper rather than a traditional business, especially since most of their traffic comes from Facebook ads. And even though 15% of a few dollars might not sound like a lot, combined with the revenue from their growing logistics business and in-platform advertising for merchants, the sheer volume of sales that happen on the platform means around $2 billion in revenue for Wish. So is this the only reason why Wish is successful? Their dirt cheap prices? No. That's a big part of the reason, but there's three other very important secrets behind their success. The first is the same as a very popular strategy used by Starbucks. I'm sure you already know that Starbucks is famous for spelling people's names wrong, often resulting in hilarious outcomes. Now, why do they do this? Is it because the workers are too stressed and busy? Is it because they don't care? No, it's because every time someone gets a drink with their name spelled wrong, they talk about it. They share a picture of it on social media, and Starbucks gets free advertising. Similarly, Wish uses this strategy when advertising its product by mixing in bizarre and downright weird stuff. If you search for Wish ads on Google, the results are filled with thousands of images of outrageous products that people have shared after seeing an ad for Wish. In fact, this strategy, along with their cheap prices, was so successful, they've become kind of a meme, and people are using their brand and creating content around the unusual things from Wish, which is totally not something I'm doing. The second secret is how they get the customers on their platform in the first place. Just like dropshippers, Wish uses Facebook ads to get customers, and 77% of their traffic comes from there. The only difference is that they use a highly sophisticated Facebook ads algorithm to target customers, and they use data from over 100 million monthly active users to better target their ads. This access to data and being able to capitalize on it by personalizing the shopping experience to each customer and automating their Facebook marketing gives them an unfair advantage, and was a huge reason why Wish was able to get millions of users. The third strategy is something that brick and mortar stores have been using for decades. When you enter a store, store. Even if you have a shopping list and you only want a few specific items, there's always something that you end up buying that wasn't planned. While it may seem like a random decision, or just remembering that you needed something after seeing it, the truth is that such stores are laid out and optimized in such a way that people are subconsciously guided to maximize the amount of things they buy and increase profits for the store. For example, the reason behind why the fruits and vegetables section is usually at the front of the store is that when people enter the store and first buy healthy food, they feel good about their decisions, and because of this are more likely to be relaxed about what to get when they reach the aisles containing the unhealthy things, which often have a higher profit margin for the store. Similarly, Wish imitates the experience of browsing through a mall, where you explore and find what's new or interesting, and uses a visual approach to displaying products. In fact, they focus so heavily on visual elements that they don't even show the product title until users click on a product, which just goes to show you how impressive their algorithm to show relevant products in a user shopping feed is. They made shopping fun by taking inspiration from malls, Instagram's infinite feed, and Facebook's mobile games to create a platform that's highly addicting and designed for impulse buying. One of their most popular gaming elements is called Blitz Buy, a Wheel of Fortune style game where people are offered 10 to 100 extremely cheap products that they can add to the cart within a certain time limit, enticing people to make impulse purchases. Personally, after seeing something like this being used by so many dropshippers, where they give you a discount in exchange for your email, it seems kind of tacky and annoying, but since Wish is specifically designed around that concept, it makes sense that this tactic works for them. The other thing which no other online retailer does, but is common in popular games because it increases retention and gives people a reason to open the app, is having a daily login bonus. Every day a user opens the app, they get a stamp, and after 7 days in a row, they get 50% off one item. Because of this, users are incentivized to open the app daily, and each time they open the app is another chance they'll buy something. These tactics, along with using a lot of psychological tricks to increase sales, such as scarcity with timers and social acceptance by showing people like 10,000 people bought this, means that users are primed to make impulse purchases. And to top it all off, Wish is constantly barraging people with discounts and special deals, giving me the impression that they're kind of like a mix between an online dollar store and the stores that always had 1,000 on sale banners that were selling things at super cheap prices, but the things they sold were either low quality or gimmicks. Just like how those types of stores went out of business and had to file for bankruptcy, Wish is also currently in a state of decline and lost a total of $111 million in the second half of 2021, thanks to a reduction in app installs, active users, time spent on the app, and increased cost of advertising due to privacy changes for iOS and Facebook. This resulted in the stock price dropping to around $2 to $3, which is a decline of almost 90% from its peak of $31.19, a drop in valuation from $19.5 billion to only $1.5 billion. In order to combat this, their focus is now on improving customer engagement and heavily reducing ad spend. They plan to do that by increasing product quality and selection, while also improving the shopping experience. This is going to be a very difficult task, especially since their main way to acquire new customers and scale has become less effective. But why should you care? Who cares what's going on with Wish and their stock price tanking, right? Well, let me ask you this. If you had known a few months in advance that Wish was going to decline, was there a way that you could have made money? A few months ago, when the news for privacy changes for iOS and Facebook were announced, it meant that the source of traffic that Wish was so heavily reliant on would suffer. The cost to advertise and difficulty in acquiring new customers would go up, and the results from advertising would be reduced. If you believe that the stock price would go down, you could make money by shorting the stock, which is just a fancy way of saying you borrow and sell shares at the current price, and if the price drops in the future, you can then buy back and return the shares for a lower price and profit the difference. For example, if the share price was $10 and you predicted that the price will drop, you can borrow and sell 100 shares at $10 per share for a total of $1,000. If the stock price drops to $8 per share, then you can buy back those shares for $800, return them to your broker, and profit the difference, minus any fees. And that is how you can make money even if the price of a stock decreases. The downside is that if you make the wrong move and the stock price increases, the amount of risk you have is unlimited, since you will have to buy back the shares at a higher price, whereas the maximum potential for profit is limited. When you buy a stock normally, the most you can lose is what you pay for it, while the amount of upside is unlimited. With short selling, this is reversed. A safer option to shorting that limits your downside is buying put options, which gives you the right, but not the obligation to sell a stock at a predetermined price before the expiry date. Of course, hindsight is 20/20, and it wasn't certain that the stock price of Wish would drop so much, especially with it becoming a meme stock thanks to Wall Street bets. If you like this video, subscribe for more secrets behind success, and click here to find out why the CEO of Domino's was a genius.